A little foal rearing at the end. I like that. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Live, not at 5, because I can't seem to get it together to do everything at 5. Somehow, 5 o'clock is when the entire world demands my attention. Anyway, hello. Just stick an A1 into the comments if you can hear me, just to reassure me that I can be heard. Welcome to Live at 5. Thank you very much for joining me. So I'm feeling a bit weird. I'm going to start off with a confession. I'm feeling a little bit weird today because today is the first Thursday of the year where we're not having a rider confidence course. Here's the rider confidence course going on here. Way. Because in December, it becomes too dark, too cold, too miserable. And there we go. So we quit in December. If you're coming on the rider confidence course, the one-day course where you actually come here, how does the tagline go? I've forgotten. Learn how to cope with rears and spins and falls and falling horses in one fun, friendly and unforgettable day. So, yes. That will be resuming in January. We usually just do 2 in January because it's still quite cold. And then if we're up to our necks in snow, then it's not going to be too hard to put it onto the next course the following weekend. Then in February, we usually do 3 or 4. Couple on weekdays, couple on weekends, and then we're into the season then in March, and we usually do 8 in the month, and then we're off to summer. Marvelous. But yeah, I feel very strange indeed. But there we are. So I thought I'd come and hassle you guys with it instead. So anyway, back to today's subject. I've got a question for you. It's so strange. Somebody on Nervous Horse Riders tagged me in a post. So it comes up on my notifications. You've been mentioned in a post. And somebody had fallen off their horse, broke their wrist, and were a bit upset and suffering from a lack of confidence. And so somebody tagged me. Have you seen Carl Greenwood's stuff, which is quite good? And I put a reply. Well, first of all, I was a bit late to the scene. And first of all, I looked through the comments that the other members of the Nervous Horse Riders Facebook page had put on, and the original poster, I think it was a lady, had been asking, how do I get my confidence back? And for some reason, the other people thought the best way to help her in reply is to post photos of their arteries bleeding all over the hospital bed. And stories of disaster. It was just like, this isn't what the lady asked for. She's asked for help to get her confidence back. So anyway, I put my standard reply, which is usually we're all right. If you've been hurt, it's unusual. Look, when you fall off, usually we're okay. Usually it's a bit of rubbing of your bum. And if it was really upsetting, then a little bit of a cry, and that's about it. It's not air ambulances to hospital, whatever people like to say. Usually, most of your falls have been fine. Most of the falls that have happened around the country today have been fine. So I put this in a little reply going, I'm sorry it was your turn. Usually that doesn't happen. You can't. In life, it is not what happens to you that is the problem. It's the meaning that you put into it. You may remember my shower video. I should put this on, actually. I actually got into a shower, all dressed in my horse riding gear with my hat and everything. And I was saying from the shower, getting all wet, if I was to slip and break my wrist in the shower, nobody would read into that I was anything other than unfortunate. Fall off your horse and break your wrist, and everybody's like, oh, you're going to have baggage now, you're going to have a psychological problem. And then there's the people coming in going, oh, you were lucky it wasn't worse. What if you got dragged? What if your head came off? And they make it worse. They put more meaning into a problem than it deserves. So anyway, I put this in going, I'm sorry that you got hurt this time. Usually it's fine. And if you focus on the reality of it, don't make it worse than it is, but don't make it better than it is. So that would be, take your sensible precautions of your hat and your high vis. Don't float around in a cloud of confidence going, oh, my horse will never rear, I'll never fall off. You will at some point, but usually you're not hurt. So there you go. And then somebody put a reply to mine going, oh, well, I must have just been lucky then, Carl, because I ended up in hospital, breaking this, broken that, 3 ribs. Da, 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 da. And I thought, again, it's like, oh, my God, I've made it work. Well, first of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. First of all, somebody said, thank you so much, Carl. It's really nice to get the proper perspective in. So there you go. I was making it worse than it was then. But no, if I'm going to not make it worse than it is, not make it better than it is, the truth of the matter is I got 2 nice responses. And then somebody put about their accident and their broken ribs and what have you. And I thought, you've got no interest in helping this original poster. The original person, the person who's fallen off, broke their wrist, and wants some kind of like, how do I stop dwelling on this? And the way to stop dwelling on it is usually you're not hurt at all and you've just been unlucky. Sorry. Just like falling down the stairs. Most people fall down the stairs and they go bubbly, bubbly, bump, and then they rub their bum. They go, oh, we all have a jolly good laugh. I was a great one for slipping down the stairs of my horse box. So I've got the fault downstairs, and it would be like, oh, it's time for the show. And I'd walk out and not do the proper way of getting out of lorry, where you turn around and come down backwards holding on to 2 points of contact, because obviously I'm just running out the lorry and it's someone had spilt something or it had been raining. I was very good at doing that. Everybody laughed at me every time. And you know what? I never hurt myself. No, it hurt. It hurt, but I never got injured. But if I was unfortunate, there's no meaning in it. There's no meaning in it. So anyway, the original poster had wanted some kind of way of reframing what had happened so that she could enjoy her horse again. A torrent of dreadful negative imagery. And if it hadn't happened to the people, they'd pluck it out. It happened to somebody else. I mean, no, what are you doing? And I've come to the conclusion that people are just selfish. It's a very, very selfish and mean thing to do. And people do it on livery yards as well. Look, I've got some little characters in this photo here. So this person says to this person, everything's going to go wrong and we're all going to die. I'm a nervous rider and I hear it being oversaid. And they know I'm a nervous rider. And it still doesn't stop them. And I think to do that is pretty selfish, actually. What would you think if you got onto an aeroplane and there's a mum? I'm sorry if you've heard this before. It's a really good analogy. You get onto an aeroplane and there's a mum and a kid sitting on the aeroplane. And the kid is going absolutely spare. Oh, my God, we're going to die. Oh, God, I saw this film. I know that we're going to die. People die. I've read this thing. Oh, flight M18 disappeared. Oh, we're going to die. We're going to die. Oh, my God, we're going to die. Now, you might be a really nervous flyer, but you simply would not get on, sit next to the kid and go, oh, my God, you're right. We're going to die. We're going to die. Absolutely. You just wouldn't. You'd control yourself. You'd control yourself in some way, wouldn't you? You'd kind of go, oh, my God, that kid's losing it. And you'd sit down and you go, take his mind off it. What are we talking about? Are you going on holiday? Where are you going on holiday? Who are you going to see? Have you been there before? Are you going to have a nice time? Oh, you're going to go swimming? Do you swim? If you were one of these posters who what's the opposite of help? Who the opposite of helped this person regain their confidence, absolutely destroyed her confidence by making it worse, doing the equivalent of sitting on the airplane going, oh my God, I'm going to die. And while we're at it, are you going swimming? Can you swim? Do you know how many people die while you swim? I mean, you could just go on forever. And I think it's selfish. And I've said this on my rider confidence course and got in trouble. By the time we get to the end of the course, and it's like, it's all about changing your risk perception. If you want to be confident on a horse, says I at the beginning of the course, if you want to be confident on a horse, it's real simple. Look at what the nervous riders do and say and think, and don't do that. It's that simple. Look at what they do and don't do that. It's crazy. It's crazy. But people are reluctant to change the way they're thinking because it takes work. A lot of people are quite happy in being nervous and aware that horses are dangerous, but I don't believe they are dangerous. I think it comes down to make up your mind. If you're in the attitude that horses are dangerous, then of course you're not going to feel confident on your horse. How can you? You're doing something dangerous. Juggling chainsaws has just popped into my head, but unfortunately, I know that that's a trick, and you're never actually juggling chainsaws. But if we were juggling chainsaws, juggling live chainsaws, shall we say, juggling actual chainsaws, there's no way you'd feel confident at that. It's the stupidest thing to do in the world. So if you think something's dangerous, you're not going to be confident at doing it. It's that simple. I happen to think that horses are harnessable, useful, biddable. They make you stronger than usual. They make you faster. They make you higher. They make you more of a thing. When Richard III got off his horse, lost his horse. He was running around, according to Shakespeare, going, a horse, my kingdom for a horse. Why was he doing that? It wasn't, oh yeah, so that when I get on a horse, I can't open gates by myself. No. It was so that he could become more, because they are enabling, not disabling. They don't disable your ability to open a door for yourself or open the gate for yourself, and you've got to get somebody to help you. They become enabling, that you can go faster and further and stronger and plow and everything else. I don't think horses are dangerous. I think they're harnessable and useful, and they're fantastic. But if you want to change your mind, then you have to decide to change your mind. If you're of the opinion that they're dangerous and you've had enough of that, and you want to change your mind into thinking that they're usable and harnessable and make you superhuman. I don't know if superhuman is the right word, because it's kind of horsey as well. Then you will have to change your mind. You'll have to start reframing it. And all the way along the Rider Confidence course, we're like, reframe it. Don't spend your time telling stories about how dangerous horses are. Don't spend your time telling jokes about how dangerous horses are. There's no way that you can turn around and say, I was only joking when I said that horse was going to pull my head off. Because the point is that whether it's jokes, sarcasm, stories, things you've read, articles, if they're all pointing in the direction horses are dangerous, then it makes no difference that I was only joking, because you weren't. At the beginning of the Rider Confidence course last week, somebody came in and immediately made a joke about how horses were going to hurt us all. And I said to the group, are you aware that it is possible to tell jokes about how great horses are, to tell jokes about the positive aspects of horses? You don't have to tell jokes about the negative aspect of horses. Got to the end of the Rider Confidence, and right at the end, we're doing the falling bit, and someone makes a stupid joke about, I can't remember how it was. It was something like, oh, it's my turn now, or something like that. And if I die, you've got my car keys. Ha, 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 ha. And I was like that. All day, I've been giving my best to show how important it was to reframe, not even for you, but for this poor person here. So this one says to this one, they might be quite confident and still making those jokes. Oh, I'm going to die. Ha, ha, ha. Never mind. I'm the one with the car keys. Ha, 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 ha. So if you die, I'll be all right. Die. And this poor person here, who hasn't had a go yet, well, they might be getting in a mess as much as that poor person I started off the story about. It's just selfish. It's also very amateur. Professionals simply don't talk like this. If you want to be confident, act like a professional. If you act like a professional, then you look cool. And looking cool is what it's all about. That's my message for today. Stick a comment in. Thanks for those who've commented already. I've got a few hellos to say. Jamie, hello. Helen, thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Donna says, I fell off Thursday and was fine, but my friend felt getting in a car and looked like she'd be beaten up by Mike Tyson. Exactly. It's just life. Hey, hello, Akmal. Hello. Nice to see you again. I haven't spoken to you for ages. Akmal Dahalan is my friend from Malaysia. I very nearly remembered super cool in Malaysian, but I've forgotten. Someone like Abu Bakar. Can't remember. You'll have to remind me. Anyway, yes. Thank you, Sophie. Selena. Lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. So this week I'm just going to... I put a couple of videos on without any explanation. And it's because Little Bam Bam, Banner, White Horse, has been invited to be in a video with some dancers. We've got to go to a dance studio. We've had to have his shoes taken off. He's going into the dance studio and he's going to have lots of people dancing around him. He hasn't yet done this particular type of gig. It's usually teak, but teak's well, black, I suppose. I was going to say dark baby. It's actually black. And they didn't want a black horse. They wanted a white horse. And they didn't want Carnival, who's our usual white horse, because he's too slender, and they wanted a chunker. And that is Bam Bam. So we've been training him. You might have seen a while ago, we took him into a studio. So we had a video to do for Rima. That video is out now and it had teak in it, but we sneakily brought Banner as well and got him into the video. It wasn't a very pleasant studio. It was quite unhorse friendly. And he was fine. So that gave us a good light. Oh yeah, I think he's going to be all right. And we're going to need to stand him and back off out of shot while the dancers do their thing. So we had to get him used to dances and things going on around him and cameras and everything else. So that's why I made these videos. Just to end the show, I'm just going to see if I can show that to you. So let's just have a little look here. Share screen. Share screen. And let's have a little look there. I hope this works.
Who's coming with me? I ain't going to bed. You heard enough now? Do you know the score? I've made it pretty clear. I've shown you the door. It's easy this way. I'll do it all on my own. Put that pen away. I won't bother to phone. Then grip. Get out of here. See ya later. Twisted.
Anyway, there you go. So we got that video. If you want a really disturbed afternoon, the soundtrack was Wayne G. Twisted. Don't listen to it. You're not going to have a very pleasant afternoon. And then we also put up this one. So let's have a quick look at the second one that you might have seen and not known while we were doing this. There we are. So the reason I'm showing you that is to show you the trouble that we go to when we get these gigs. The horses don't come ready trained. We have to go to the effort of getting stuff. So, go, if you want to train your horse, go to the effort. We had to go to the effort of getting the mannequin. Well, first of all, we had to come to the effort of making the idea. Erin said she had some hula hoops and some stilts, so we said we'll start there. And then I remembered there was a mannequin, and we thought we'd make a funny little video, because in making a video that requires us to insist on the shot. The horse has to be in the middle of the camera, and it's a really good way of having the discipline ourselves to be able to give the routine to the horse. The routine for the horse is, in all circumstances, do what Carl says. That's the routine. The routine of doing what Carl says includes stepping back when you go into the stable. It includes standing perpendicular to the wall when I'm washing your feet. Standing to the side while I tie up the hay net. Being led exactly at my shoulder all the time. The routine is do what Carl says. But the discipline is for me not to be lazy, not to be on the phone, not allowing enough time in case it goes wrong. And we're building on that relationship. So now when it's time to do a music video, if I'm making a video, I will then have the discipline myself to insist the horse goes where it needs to be, which reinforces what we'll be doing in the studio. I hope you appreciate that we go to a lot of effort in tiny, tiny bite sizes that anybody could do. And by the time you see the end result, it might look like we're doing super duper horse training. Yeah, wow, your horse is so good. But these are the levels that they do. People come up and they go, "Oh, your horses are so amazing." And I turn around and say, they didn't come like that. If you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, stick them in the comments and I will be delighted to answer them. Thank you for joining me for Live Not at 5, and have a lovely evening. End of finish to your week. Finish to your week. I think finish to the week is fine. We're quite getting into things are moving quickly. We're getting through November. We're nearly in December. Where did it go? Anyway, enough from me. Bye.